Welcome, ZASLOW Show 2.0. It is a Monday, the 13th of November. Good to have you aboard. Part of the Believe Podcast Network and presented as always by Anidjar and Levine, accident attorneys, 800-747-FREE, 800-747-3733 if you've been involved in any kind of an accident, a personal injury, not of your own doing. You deserve to get compensated, and Anidjar and Levine, accident attorneys, they will put their skills, their experience, their expertise to work for you. First, you call 911, then you call Anidjar and Levine, accident attorneys, 800-747-FREE, 800-747-3733. Got a lot to get to today. I'm so thrilled to have you guys aboard here on a Monday. We got some fun stuff to catch up on. Obviously, we got Dolphins from a bye week, but this was a really good weekend for the Dolphins, so we'll get to that. We'll have our NFL rundown, which we have every Monday, brought to us by Brunt Insurance, bruntinsurance.com. Heat and Panthers, great weekend for our South Florida sports teams. Our favorite little basketball team, our favorite little hockey team, both of them had great weekends. I mean, hey, everything is happening, all right? You got the basketball going, you got the college basketball is rolling, and Bet Online remains your top spot for all your live betting action and contests. NFL, college football, UFC, NHL, all in full swing. Bet Online is your number one source for wagering news, odds, trends, and predictions. All the hoops betting action, along with every sport available at your fingertips with both desktop and mobile access available at any time. Head to the Bet Online today and remember to use your promo code BELIEVE, B-L-E-A-V, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, where the game starts. So I hope you all had a great weekend. If it was a long weekend because of Veterans Day, that's awesome. I hope you guys listened to me. I filled in on Amber and Ian on Friday night with a great girl, Amber Wilson. That was a lot of fun. Most of the show was Harbaugh. Like Harbaugh, you got the Harbaugh news that afternoon. So like the whole show was really Jim Harbaugh themed essentially. Tonight though, I'm in again filling in on Amber and Ian. So tonight you'll be able to hear me again with my old co-host Amber Wilson. I'll be with her tonight from 7 to 10 p.m. on ESPN Radio. We'll be doing a lot of NFL reaction. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll sprinkle in some NBA there. Keep you posted on what's going on Monday Night Football tonight. Broncos and Bills. Obviously, we're all rooting for the Broncos tonight. But make sure you're listening tonight, 7 to 10 p.m. Amber and Ian, ESPN Radio, ESPN app, SiriusXM Channel 80, locally ESPN 106.3 FM, West Palm. Looking forward to hanging out with my girl Amber Wilson again tonight. So, this was a really good weekend. Number one, so my son who plays soccer, he plays for his high school team also, plays for his school, Posnack. They have a game tonight, but over the weekend, he had a club game with Weston Select. My son is still recovering from a broken finger, which is keeping him out of goal. It's not healed yet. It's been over a month. It's not healed yet. But as a result, he's been able to play in the field a little bit for a change. Scored a goal over the weekend. So how about that? So loved seeing that. Shout out to my older son, Corey, U15, Weston Select boys who are having a nice little season. They had some controversy at the beginning of the year, lost some kids, and they bounced back really nicely, having a nice little season. So shout out to Weston Select, U15 boys. And my son got his first goal of the season. He rarely gets to play in the field, so the fact that he was able to score on Saturday. We had to go to Fort Myers. We were in Fort Myers for his game. So that was really cool. Glad he got to see some time in the field. Glad he got to score. Anyway, and they won, most importantly. So anyway, that's what we had going on the weekend. Also, on Friday afternoon, because it was Veterans Day, took my younger son. We go to my older son and I go to the movies all the time for the horror movies. My younger son and I, we go to the movies all the time for the superhero movies. We saw the Marvels on Friday afternoon. Liked it. My son loved it. I liked it too. It was fun. It was light. Yeah, I mean, mainly, like, it's really a vehicle to get to the next level, the next story, the next phase in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. If you're into those movies, no spoilers, but if you're into those movies, you're going to see the Marvels because you're hoping something is going to happen. You're hoping it's going to get you to that next phase that you're hoping for. And without giving any spoilers, you're not going to be disappointed, all right? So, movie was fun. I think we all got out of it what we wanted to get out of it, if you understand what I'm talking about. And away we go. So, and The Marvel is getting really good reviews, by the way. So, excuse me. Anyway, I enjoyed The Marvels. We saw that on Friday afternoon. Now, and by the way, new episode of It's Still Real to Me. We caught up on everything pro wrestling related yesterday afternoon that came out. So make sure you go catch up on that. Certainly before Monday Night Raw tonight or whatever. Like it's not exactly dated. So you go check out this week's episode of It's Still Real to Me. Me and my pal Joey Levine. All right. So let's start out here. We had a great sports weekend for our favorite teams. Our favorite little basketball team, our favorite little hockey team, both of them 2-0 the weekend, both of them rolling right now. How about the Miami Heat? Let's start out with our favorite little basketball team. Now, next up, they have an in-season tournament game tomorrow. They're at the Charlotte Hornets tomorrow. They're already 1-0, the Heat, in the tournament. So, and if the Heat win tomorrow, things get fun for the in-season tournament. Like, if you want to get jacked up about it, if you wanted to have some juice, if the Heat win in Charlotte tomorrow, which will be their 6th win in a row, if the Heat win in Charlotte tomorrow, then the in-season tournament begins to get some juice. Because your next game is at New York in the tournament, and the final match play game there is home against Milwaukee. If you go into New York with a chance to go 3-0 in the tournament, then you're going to get to the 4th and final game. Win that game, you're going to Vegas. You're in the quarterfinals. Can you imagine a home game against Milwaukee for the in-season tournament with the chance to go to Vegas? That game's got some juice to it, especially considering you owned that ass last year in the playoffs, and they already beat you earlier this season when the Heat already look like a clearly different team. And by the way, the Bucks, they ain't doing so hot. So anyway, the in-season tournament looks like it could have a little bit of juice to it. Now, as far as this weekend goes, so the Heat on Saturday night, they're in Atlanta, a game that they led the entire way. They win 117-109, played really, really well. The main story, Bam Adebayo, 26 points, 17 rebounds, 9 of 10 from the floor, 8 of 8 from the free throw line. No Jimmy Butler that night either. No Tyler Hero, of course. No problem. Bam continues an amazing start to his season. Maybe the big story that night, Jaime Jaquez Jr., 20 points, 4 assists. So after a little bit of a rough start, he's getting a ton of playing time. Little bit of a rough start, that seems to be a thing of the past now. Jaime Jaquez Jr. belongs and looking like a player, a kid who's more advanced than most rookies. Josh Richardson, another great story from Saturday night. I told you a few days ago, I wasn't sure Josh Richardson is playable. He's been so bad. And finally, Saturday night, had a breakout game. 16 points, 6 for 7 from the floor. So we'll get to some more of that in a second here, because there was carryover yesterday evening. But Josh Richardson, excellent job Saturday. It felt really good for him, kind of snapping out of that early season funk. The Heat now yesterday have a chance for a 5th consecutive win and to sweep this 3-game road trip after starting out in Memphis. The Heat are trailing like 25-9 early on. Trailing big, they come back. It's a tight, well, they're down like 6-8 points, really the rest of the way. The Heat were down by 10 with about 8 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Then Duncan Robinson, drive to the basket. Duncan Robinson, 3-pointer in the corner. Duncan Robinson, fast break layup. Duncan Robinson, who I believe, not a career high, he had 26 points last night, but 26 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 of 7 from 3. I think last night was the best game of Duncan Robinson's career. He drives to the basket now. He rebounds. He can defend a little bit. And I really think the Heat fan, you got to put a little bit of respect on Duncan Robinson's name. He has come back from the abyss. Wasn't playing last year. And now this year, had a really good postseason. And now, at this point of his career and coming back from where he was, has expanded on his game. Credit to John Crotty, who was all over it throughout the broadcast last night. Duncan has now expanded his game where he's driving to the basket. He's coming off the dribble, creating his own shot. This is a guy who put some respect on his name because we don't have to complain about the contract anymore. This is a valuable player to them once again. And by the way, also put some respect on Duncan Robinson's name. Let's be honest here. Duncan Robinson is the franchise's all-time leader in three-point field goals made. Duncan Robinson is one of the great Heat players of all time. And think of, like, you're rolling your eyes when I say that. Duncan Robinson has been on this team now. This is his 6th year with the team. 6th year. And in both NBA finals that he's been, 2020, 2023, has been a major player. Duncan Robinson is one of the great Heat players of all time. And I don't mean as far as, talent level that he's on, along the likes of the guys whose banners are hanging in the rafters, jerseys are hanging in the rafters. But I'm talking about he's been here for 6 years. That's a very long time in today's NBA. Tim Hardaway was here for 6 years. Shaq was here for 3.5. LeBron was here for 4. Jimmy Butler's been here for 5. Duncan Robinson has been here for 6 years. I'm really thrilled for Duncan, who had a great game last night. Bam had 24 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. And Josh Richardson, your boy Josh Richardson. So the Heat get back into it because Duncan Robinson had a huge fourth quarter. Kevin Love, by the way, excellent job last night as well. What do you have, 11 in the third quarter, I think it was? The bench, I know Robinson started last night. Did Jay Rich start last night in place of Kyle Lowry? Lowry had a rest day. Jay Rich may have started last night. Josh Richardson, how about this? So the Heat, the game is tied at 110. I'm sorry, the Heat are trailing. The Heat are trailing 110-109 with about 2 minutes left, and the energy finds Josh Richardson.
Robinson driving. Topside Richardson, here comes a three. Kaboom! Josh Richardson, both of his...
Jay Rich, big balls, puts the Heat up 112-110. The Heat get a stop. It may have actually been Jimmy Butler's steal. The Heat get the stop. And then on the other side, all of a sudden, Jay Rich looking like the guy we thought we were bringing back.
Richardson over Vassell. Another one. Josh Richardson.
7 huge points for Jay Rich down the stretch. He also added 2 free throws at the very end to ice the game when they were only up by 3. He made it a 5-point game. Heat win 118-113. But Josh Richardson hitting the 3 to take the lead. The next possession, one-on-one, 15-footer. Yes! The Heat go up by 4. Richardson, 12 points, 4 assists last night. 4 of 7 from the floor, 2 for 4 from 3. And back-to-back games, big time performance from Josh Richardson. So happy for Josh Richardson. So happy for Duncan Robinson. Jaime Jaquez Jr., Bam Adebayo. Jimmy returned last night. He was fine. I think he had like 15. And now, 5 consecutive wins. The Heat were sitting 1-4. They're now 3rd in the East. 5 consecutive wins, 6-4, and looking like a completely different team. Looking like a team that, once again, what's always been their greatest strength? The sum of the parts. And Bam Adebayo, they're getting it from Love, from Robinson, from Richardson, from Jaquez. And Bam Adebayo, best player on the team right now. Yeah, especially with Tyler Hero out. And you know what? He sat out for rest. You always got to rest. Sat out for rest yesterday. But before that, the game in Memphis and the game in Atlanta, Kyle Lowry. Really nice couple games. Gotta be fair. I don't like him, but I gotta be fair. So you're feeling real good about your favorite little basketball team right now. 5 straight wins, 3rd in the East, 6-4. Tournament game tomorrow night at Charlotte. And now you're watching good basketball. They were dreadful the first few games, the Heat. They were a Cade Cunningham miss away from 0-5. And now I think everyone feels real good about where the team is at. But my overriding thought, so happy for Duncan Robinson, So happy for Josh Richardson. So that's your favorite little basketball team, who goes 2-0 over the weekend. How about your favorite little hockey team, the Florida Panthers? The Panthers, on Friday night, they take on the Carolina Hurricanes for the first time since sweeping that ass, and Matthew Tkachuk with the greatest moment in Florida Panther history. Game-winning goal with under 4 seconds remaining to win the Eastern Conference Championship. Look, it's right here. This is the picture. Tkachuk skating into the arms of his teammates on the bench. Best moment in Panther history. The Hurricanes are back in town. Panthers kick their ass. 5-2, the Panthers win on Friday night. Fuck the Carolina Hurricanes. Rod Brindamore talking about how it wasn't a sweep. He was there. It didn't feel like a sweep. They swept you, and they kicked your ass on Friday night. I hope that felt like an ass kicking, Rod Brindamore. Up yours. So the Panthers on Friday night, and by the way, how the tables have turned when it comes to the Panthers and the Hurricanes. I mean, the Hurricanes used to absolutely own us. We own that ass now. And then Sunday afternoon, a little Sunday afternoon hockey at Amerant Bank Arena. The Panthers and Heat both with games yesterday. Best way not to be focused on the Dolphins not playing on an NFL Sunday. Got the Panthers at 1, got the Heat at 7. And so yesterday, the Panthers, first 2 minutes into the game, they strike first against the Blackhawks.
It's mom's trips. All the moms are here in Florida enjoying themselves. Here's Rodriguez putting it in front. And again in front, and Ekman Larson scores! The tap-in goal, 39 seconds into the game. Oliver lights the lamp.
Yeah, Oliver Ekman Larson, 4th goal of the season. Panthers up 1-0 real early in this one. Blackhawks. I remember the Blackhawks beat the Panthers. I think it was 5-2 early in the season in Chicago. Then it's 1-1. Sam Reinhart gives the Panthers back the lead in the first.
Here's Tkachuk. Takes a shot. Score! It finds its way in. Power play goal. It's a 2-1 lead for Florida.
I think Rhino's going to get this
Reinhart's
one.
10th goal of the season. Panthers up 2-1. It was 2-2 after the first period. And then in the third period, Reinhart again.
In to feed it to Forsling. There's the shot. Knocked down in front. Reinhart the feed. They score! He banked it in! Sam Reinhart with his 11th of the year.
Reinhart's 11th goal of the season. By the way, he's on pace for over 60 goals this year. He's going to be a free agent after this season. Panthers could be in trouble as far as that goes. But we're focused on right now. Anyway, the Blackhawks tied. It's 3-3 after 2 periods. And in the third period, early in the third period, the Panthers get what wind up being the game-winning goal.
Matthew Tkachuk sends it to the net. Save. Rebound. Verhaeghe scores! Carter Verhaeghe gives the Panthers the lead in the third period.
That's right. So Carter Verhaeghe, the Panthers hang on. Extra skater, empty net Blackhawks. The Panthers stave off the Hawks there. Really didn't even get too dicey. And the Panthers now, 4-3 victory, all of a sudden, second in the Atlantic, third overall in the East, 9-4-1. Remember, the Panthers started 0-2. They're now 9-4-1. They got Sam Bennett back yesterday. Brandon Montour is very close. And right behind him is going to be Aaron Ekblad. So it felt like, all right, can we stay afloat until we get the guys who are injured back in the lineup? But no, the Panthers are playing great hockey. And they're going to get these guys back in the lineup. I'm very excited about the Panthers. I'm very happy with where the Heat are. We're in it, man. And we got the Dolphins who are back in action coming up this weekend. It's all happening. So even though even though the Dolphins were off this weekend, this was a great, and by the way, good things happened for the Dolphins too. We'll get to that in a moment here. This was a really good weekend for the South Florida sports fan. You know what makes the weekend even better? Go to sheetsgiggles.com. Order yourself some new bed sheets. Surprise your wife. Use promo code ZASLOW. 20% off checkout at your first order. Use promo code ZASLOW when you go to Sheets Giggles. Your wife, your husband, whatever you got going on, surprise them this holiday season. You're going to have the softest, coolest, most breathable sheets you've ever had. You're not going to have to worry about where you're shopping for your bed sheets anymore. I got a eucalyptus mattress. I got a eucalyptus pillow. I get the most comfortable sleep I've ever had. That's right. Sheets and Giggles, sustainable eucalyptus sheets. And you're going to become, just like the ZASLOW family, one of over 100,000 Americans who are sleeping on sheets and giggles and never turning back. I'll tell you who's excited about the Heat and Panthers start right now. My man Colin, the founder and CEO of Sheets and Giggles. He's making sure that the sheets are sustainably made from eucalyptus trees. The environment is safe, and we're all getting such great sleep. I'm so comfortable when I lay down in my bed. Right there, that's where the magic happens right there. It's also where I get the great sleep because of Sheets and Giggles. Go to sheetsgiggles.com. Use promo code ZASLOW, 20% off at checkout. Again, sheetsgiggles.com, promo code ZASLOW.